Okay, this is Derek again. I hear a clear line. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're good on all the DWS updates, so I'm going to turn it over to Coach, and he can update you on how they've used the bye week, and then we'll take your questions regarding Indiana.
Obviously, we've had just a really good week. This was great for us because we're out of school right now, so we were able to really lock in on getting a lot more mentally refreshed, physically refreshed, while at the same time cleaning up a lot of things we needed to get better at, adding some things, so it was a good week from the standpoint of it being a productive week, and I really felt like we got better, and guys' minds and bodies are in a good place as we get ready, obviously, to head over to Bloomington here today. So I thought that was good. It was at a good time for us. It gave us a chance to really examine some things early in the week that pertained, more to us and less to opponent. You start getting in that, routine of where you're playing every, 2 to 3 days once league play starts, other than the 2 bye weeks, and it becomes a lot of scouting. This week afforded us the opportunity to do both, and I thought that was really productive for us. Obviously, Indiana tomorrow, great challenge, terrific environment, really, really good offensively, multiple players that can, score double figures or more on any given night, great pace to what they do, great on the glass, and, it'd be a great challenge for us. I'm excited for us to, head on the road. Obviously, last time we were out on the road, we didn't quite play with the resilience and poise that we need. Thought we did that here at home when we got back home and played with really a lot of mental and physical toughness and resiliency and composure. And that's what we're certainly going to need, a lot of that tomorrow in Bloomington. Questions?
John, this is Mark. Talked to your kids this morning, and we're just talking to them about the fact that you guys have had maybe a couple of occasions where after losses you felt like there's maybe a little more urgency. I would assume you feel like you're going to catch an Indiana team tomorrow that's playing with urgency too, given their recent results.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we should all play that way, but you're dealing with the human mind, the human heart, the spirit. There's no question. We fully expect to get their best shot, and obviously they've played some really good basketball this season, and we're expecting certainly their mindset and energy level to be really good tomorrow. So we like that. I've told our guys we've got to embrace challenges, and obviously it'll be a great challenge tomorrow.
Hey, John, you talked about a great challenge. What's maybe a challenge of playing at Indiana? Michael and Malcolm this morning said it's just a kind of a unique environment to play in.
Yeah, obviously they're they've had great support when we played over there, and obviously pretty loyal, passionate fan base, and we know more importantly than that though we're playing a really really potent team offensively, one that's great on the glass, that's talented, that they do a great job of utilizing their personnel and putting them in position to be successful, and execution wise that's the challenge. We've got to play with great effort. That's certainly not negotiable. I think poise and composure, and not only that environment, but whenever you go on the road, I think you have to have that, and certainly we had to have it at home. This past game where we had to really, man up and have some poise and composure. Certainly took a step in the right direction there, and now we got another chance to, continue to grow and get better in that area tomorrow.
John, it's Jeremy. Obviously, Yogi Ferrell was a big part of that team the last couple of years. How have they changed, or who stepped up, or how is that team different without him in the lineup?
Well, obviously, he was a big part of what they did certainly in the past. But they've got some guys that are, they're maybe a little bit different, but they're equally as potent. Whether it's Robert Johnson or Blackman or Jones, Green. I think they're really deep on the perimeter, have a lot of playmaking, guards. Newkirk, those guys can all make plays for themselves and for others. They're dual threat guys, a lot like Yogi was for them. So, obviously you're very concerned about that. And then, the maturation and growth and development of Thomas Bryant and the current play, really good play of Davis inside. They do a good job of throwing it inside. The athleticism and playmaking of Anunoby. They've got multiple weapons offensively, and that's why you look at Ken Palm and they're a top 10 offense in America. There's a reason for that. They execute well. They put their guys in position to be successful, and they've got multiple weapons. So, I think that they're a little bit different without him, but there's also a lot of similarities as well in terms of pace and rebounding and what they want, what they run, and what they're trying to do philosophically.
Coach, this is Derek. You talked a lot about mental resiliency. What can you do preparation-wise to address that?
I just think being consistent with what we do and doing what we do well. Thought we did that the other day. I thought we stayed the course, and that was a big emphasis. Coming off of the Maryland game was to do that, and our guys really answered the bell with that. And it's not necessarily anything magical, Derek, or fancy, or it's just an ability to have the resiliency mentally to do what you're supposed to do all the time, or the majority of the time, or most of the time, regardless of circumstance. And I thought we had that, the other day, and we've had that a lot, throughout the course of the season in terms of our ability to handle different things well. We've got a competitive bunch, and they've, as Tuck mentioned earlier or referenced earlier, our guys have responded to a lot of different things throughout the season. And as we all know, played, a very, very, very rigorous schedule, indicative of the number 2 strength of schedule rating in the league. So, our guys have, learned a lot. But I think the biggest thing is just focusing in on doing your job one possession at a time, trusting each other, trusting the system, executing the game plan, not allowing outside influences or distractions to deter you from doing that. To me, that's mental toughness. And as coaches, we're all aspiring for our teams and our individual players to have that. Obviously, the more consistently you have that, the better you play and the better your team will be.
Hey, Jonathan Scott again. Indiana's had some trouble with turnovers in wins and losses. Is that maybe a situation you can look to be a little opportunistic in defensively?
Well, I just think they play very, very free, loose, aggressive. They're always in attack mode. And so some of that's going to happen when you play that style. But I think oftentimes what gets neglected when you look at that is, the possession battle on the glass, where, they offset that very, very well by beating you up on the backboard. And they've done that consistently against everybody. So I think sometimes that gets forgotten, the way that you gain or subtract, so to speak, or delete possessions or lose that possession deals. Turnover is certainly a big part of that, but also the number of offensive rebounds that you can acquire. And his teams have always been great at offensive rebounding, if you look at his career there. And this team's no different. I mean, this team is top 10 in the nation, maybe even top 5. I haven't looked at the Ken Palm this morning, but real close to that in offensive rebound percentage. So that allows them to offset that a little bit. So, as concerned as we are about taking care of the ball, and, obviously you talk about their turnovers, we're equally as concerned about the backboard.
Is that all for Coach? Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it, guys. Safe travels, those of you that are driving over.
You too.
Thanks.